The world abounds in change through man's ability.
Well, I mean... Yo, that was not even intentional. I feel very called out right now. Oh, God.
Fucking approaching our 40s or in our 40s and
Turning into...
sitting here fucking cracking up over
See?
it's better than I expected at our age.
Yeah, we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Yeah. Well, and I figured even if we were still around, it'd probably be super boring and like into golf and shit. I don't think any of us
could have
gives a
gotten
shit
into
about
tried to get
golf.
into
We got
golf.
into golf. I mean, I had fun playing pitch and putt that one time.
Oh, pitch and
the three
putt,
of us.
yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, no, I'll go over to Beaver Bend any day.
That was fun.
Yeah, we went to that fucking driving range. Wouldn't even let us use their clubs. You were there with us when that happened.
Oh my God, I don't even remember that.
We tried to go to that driving range. It was along that road in Hershey that leads to...
Oh, fuck.
I'm fucking terrible with roads. But
I think I know what you're talking
If
about,
you-
though.
it's on the road past Dom's house.
Yeah.
We went there and... You know,
Oh,
it's a
Adventure
fucking
Sport.
driving range.
Yeah, placed by Adventure Sports.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let
it's
us
a
use the driving
And we
range?
walked up there and we were like, dude, can we... And we didn't have our own clubs and they were like, yeah, you gotta give us like $65. It's like, wait, what the fuck?
To use a driver?
Yeah.
What?
I think they just didn't want us there.
I mean, you can spend $65 and get a whole set of golf clubs at the thrift store for each of us.
I once saw a bag of golf clubs outside of a house. It was like free, take these. And I thought about taking them. But then I was like, oh, they might be haunted.
Why would
And
somebody get
the-
rid of a good set of golf clubs?
That was 100% my reason for not stopping and throwing them into my car.
Either whoever owned them died, in
Yeah.
which case they might be haunted, or they're throwing them away because they were already haunted.
Or they're a murder weapon and will be haunted.
Okay, here goes. Here's my pitch. All used golf clubs are haunted.
Maybe
Fucking bagger vans just popping up while you're trying to sleep.
maybe from a certain point in time, I got a set of used clothes that weren't haunted. Now all we
How
did
do you
with
know?
them,
Did you check?
well, nothing happened.
Yeah, but you gotta get the PKG meter or whatever
Ken,
out
let's
on
look
them.
at this scientifically. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because nothing happened doesn't mean they weren't haunted.
This is true.
We're
But
men
I
of
guess I
science here,
didn't-
Ken.
Guess I didn't fucking care because I wasn't being visited by specters from another realm.
I don't know, man. It could be like Ghost Fred Armisen. He just stands there and watches you sleep.
I don't need that in my life at all.
Not even if it's Fred Armisen?
No, he's an asshole.
Yeah?
I heard he's a real asshole.
He does strike me as someone to be an asshole.
I heard
Yeah,
he's
I
an
wouldn't
asshole.
be super surprised if he was an asshole.
Yeah.
But not in like a way that like really hurts people, just generally kind of a dick.
No, I don't know. Like he gives me the kind of vibes that you'll find something out about him and be like, nah, not surprised.
Yeah. I did like the one skit he did on Jimmy Kimmel, where
I did like that one thing he didn't.
that one thing he did was pretty. Where he sat there with a guitar and played the history of punk rock and made up like
Yes.
that was pretty
yeah,
good.
that was really
That was good.
Don't get me wrong. I think Fred Armisen is funny and talented. Like I enjoy things I see him
He
in.
just gives you a vibe.
But I think as a person, he might be a little suspicious.
Oh, man. I never really had that thought about Fred Armisen.
That's that feeling where you're like, I'm gonna enjoy this while I can because something's gonna come out.
Now I'm not going to be able to see Fred Armisen without thinking,
nothing's
I
happened
wonder
yet.
if he is a sex pervert. Like,
Just the mere inference that something is there is enough for you to be like, ah, fuck.
yeah.
I'm not
it's
an
like,
FA fan
it's
anymore.
like when you're watching a movie and somebody tells you there's a twist. And you're like, well, now I'm just going to be sitting there trying to think what the twist is going to
Uh-huh.
be.
Yeah.
Well, what's the twist with Fred Armisen?
I'm gonna write and shoot a whole movie and not let Doug know about it. I'm gonna be like, there's a twist. And you're gonna be like waiting for it, and it's gonna be fucking Chubby Checker doing the twist.
You underestimate me, sir. I'm always ready for the twist. As long as it's Chubby Checker.
What if your golf clubs are haunted by Chubby Checker?
I'd pay extra.
Do you think he was a sex pervert?
I thought you were going to say golfer.
Like,
I don't think they would have let him into golf clubs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he was allowed in...
It doesn't strike me as a big
your
golfer
standard,
back then.
golf club, golf course.
Yeah, no. Do I think he was a sex pest? Do I think he was like
sex pest?
He was like a dirty perv.
Yeah,
he has been watching English television.
Sex pest.
Oh no, Casey and I have been saying sex pest for a while now.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is a very British way of saying like
degenerate.
Like sexual offender,
Yeah.
like somebody who broke a law with their dick.
Exactly. Just it's such a pest.
It's a real Jimmy Savile right there.
Oh, it's a real Gary Glitter right there.
Oh,
yeah, I know. I made it dark.
I mean, I think Jimmy Savile might be darker than Gary Glitter.
Yeah, what Jimmy Savile do?
Jimmy Savile was a kids host who used to like molest children in the hospital or something.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
I mean, Gary Glitter also molested children, but I think he at least did it at home.
I thought Gary Glitter just had child porn.
Oh no, I think he was like having sex with like teenage girls.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And here's the thing, though. I don't think that it was girls that were like way below the age of consent, because it was like the UK. The age of consent was like 16.
So it's like a David Bowie situation.
Kind of, yeah.
Or just
but
like
also, I think he had kiddie porn.
It was like an icky relationship and then incriminating items.
Well, when the age of consent is 16, you really can't make much of a case for dipping below that.
Yeah.
You really can't. Well, I swear she was 15 3/4. That makes it sound so much better.
Yeah.
50-year-old freak.
Say, it's like a David Bowie situation. Like, that makes it okay.
Well, it makes it more okay because David Bowie was a fucking legend.
But, again, David Bowie would be a guy who I'd be like, you know what? I think there's something fishy about him. Mm-hmm. And then you find out, and it's like, oh, yeah, totally not surprised.
So, here's the thing, though. Imagine you have a 15-year-old daughter, right?
No. I'm not. I don't want to know where this one's going.
Hang on. And your 15-year-old daughter comes home and says, David Bowie wants to fuck me. I kind of want to fuck David Bowie. Can I fuck David Bowie? Do you look into your little girl's eyes and tell her she's not allowed to fuck David Bowie? Really, Josh?
Well, I'm going to say...
I'd have fucked David Bowie when I was 15.
Yeah, that's my point. I think you say, yeah, you can, but you got to watch me fuck him first.
Right, yeah. You got to pay the troll toll.
Yeah. Then it's...
Wait, you got to watch him fuck me first? Watch me fuck him? You're going to make your kid watch you fuck David Bowie?
Yeah.
Don't make him watch. You can fuck him in a different room.
Oh, is that the problem?
That makes you more of a pervert to make your child watch you fuck David Bowie.
Only if she calls my bluff, because I
right before
actually
she
wanna
fucks
fuck
him.
I mean, I guess like I don't want to fuck a dude at all. No problem with it. Just don't want to.
Right.
But I guess if I was going to, and she like called my bluff, I could do worse than David Bowie.
You could do so much worse than
Yeah.
David. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
He's off the market.
I mean, if she came to me and she was like, "Hey, David Bowie wants to fuck me," I'd be like, "Where'd you get those golf clubs?"
You're like, dude, you're 15. You gotta wait a year.
Yeah, right.
And then she'd be like,
David
but
Bowie.
You're not 16 yet. Wait until next week when it's your birthday.
David Bowie won't want to fuck me when I'm 16. Then we got a problem.
Yeah, then we got a problem.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
We're gonna make a fuck ton of money, and you can fuck a whole bunch of age-appropriate guys, because we're gonna sue David Bowie.
Okay, I was wondering how we were making all that money.
Or sell the story. I don't care.
Yeah, you know, I don't see it personally, because I would fuck just about anything, but if a 17-year-old walked in here, even if she was a hot 17-year-old, and she was like, hey, fuck me, I'd be like, nah, dude.
Yeah, you can keep it in your pants.
Like, that's a bad idea. We're not going to do that.
No. I mean,
Like,
Well, how hot a 17-year-old are we talking?
I don't know because it
That
wouldn't
was supposed
really
to get a laugh. I was changed.
it wouldn't factor into the equation because I'm a decent enough person to be like, that's not cool.
I have crossed that threshold where hot girls look like children to me still.
What about like Jamie Lee Curtis? She's not 17, but she's a hot girl.
Is she?
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, she's like 70.
Oh, she's still pretty hot for like a 70-year-old woman. She's very, very attractive.
I don't.
Okay,
find her
but
very
that
attractive.
I'm talking about like an actual teenager. Where does Jamie Lee Curtis come into this?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're
Like, if
17.
I'm
They
watching-
should look like children to you.
Oh, we gotta delete this entire episode.
No, we don't. This is great. We haven't had a conversation this good in a long time.
Like if there is a 22-year-old girl wearing skimpy clothing, I'm like, that looks like a kid wearing skimpy clothing. It's weird right now to me most of the time.
No, I'm not gonna draw that line.
Yeah.
It's true. I've always, I mean,
I'll still look. I'll feel a little bit weird about it because, like, I'm old.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna look.
I look at older women most of the time, anyways.
Yeah, I look
or
at
I guess
Jamie Lee
age-appropriate
Curtis
women.
much
at
I
this
ain't even
time.
gonna feel weird about it.
Yeah, no, I am.
Like, look, you're 22. It's fucking fair ball.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a story about that porn star that jumped into the
Oh man,
foam pit.
I
Did
was
you see
listening
that?
to a podcast with her on the way over here.
What happened?
Adriana Chechik.
Yeah,
She became like a big streamer.
she was the
And-
one that fucked her stepdad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh. Like, for real? Not just as, like, the plot of the thing?
he told
No,
us the
no,
story. I just remember the name, and this chick fucked her stepdad.
Well, she was. I guess she was an orphan. Like she was in and out of homes all throughout her life, all throughout her young life. And
So it was like her adoptive father?
yeah, it was one of her adoptive fathers.
That's not awesome.
So like, I remember her saying like, they were like, it was like a good family to her, but you know when she aged out of the system, that was just kind of it. And then she re-encountered him years later, and they fucked, and you know.
I feel like more shame on him than her.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
like,
it was a date. It
not
was
awesome.
better than David Bowie's situation.
it's true. She was of age. Fuck.
No, but he had like a local government position too, and it blew up on him. But anyway, yeah. So she became like a big Twitch streamer, and fucking hats off to her because she's playing some hard ass shit. Like she's in the Souls games and everything. I'm not even playing the Souls games. I beat Elden Ring, and I'm like, all right, fuck that entire genre. I'm done there. But she's become like a legit gaming streamer. So she goes to TwitchCon, and they've got this ball pit set up, or this
foam
pit.
blocks.
Yeah, foam blocks.
Okay.
And after they do their segment, they were like, okay, at the end of this, just jump off and land on your butt in the foam pit. And here's the fucked up thing. Several people had already been injured in the foam pit.
Because it wasn't a foam pit like built to standard. It was just
No.
a small pit with some foam in it
Yeah.
that they set up themselves.
Like, people had already twisted ankles, broken ankles, dislocated knees.
They're diving into
did-
the shallow section,
You
basically.
closed the foam
Yeah,
pit at
and
that
they
point.
didn't close it.
What the fuck?
And they were even like, okay, and at the end of this segment, just jump off and land on your butt. So she did that, and it looks painful. Like, she just fucking... That's probably
broke-
loud on there, so
Whatever.
sorry about that.
She
but
broke like her back and shit.
Yeah, she had to have 2 back surgeries so far.
Oh my
She's
god.
got to, like, relearn to walk.
God.
It's-
At least her livelihood doesn't require her to, like, move a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, well, she retired.
Oh, she retired.
Kind of. I mean...
From porn.
She retired
Did
from...
she retire from
porn
streaming?
porn. No,
I meant,
she's still streaming.
Like,
Okay.
streaming doesn't require her to move around a whole lot.
Right.
Whereas being a porn star would.
Yeah.
So, that's
Well,
good.
She said she'd already fucked up, like, her neck in porn. Because, like, she'd done so much pile driver that... yeah.
Pile driver's like playing football, man. Eventually, your brain's just going to start to go.
You get CTE from fucking.
No, her thing was, like, she just got, like, progressively crazier, like, the shit she'd do. And it fucked her up.
Yep.
So she
There's a
announced,
reason people
like...
generally don't do that.
But yeah, she announced, like, a month ago that she was retiring from porn. And I say, quote-unquote, retiring because, like, she's retiring from, like, studio porn. But everyone has an OnlyFans now. And they all make 6 figures. 7 figures.
I think
8
Casey
figures.
has an OnlyFans. I think she was approved. I don't think she ever set it up.
But yeah, so like, a lot of the porn chicks, like, retired from porn, but they still do their OnlyFans thing. And which, honestly, good for them.
Yeah, why wouldn't
because they're actually getting paid.
Yeah.
As opposed to getting, like, fucking
Shafted.
nothing from, studios.
Yeah.
But yeah, she broke her back, like, 2 places.
There's actually somebody who we went to school with. Not to take away from the tragedy of the fucking foam pit, because that's ridiculous.
That's awful.
Oh,
It's
I got
fucking
even more of a
terrible.
tragedy about her.
Oh no! let me real quick just tell
Yeah.
you, somebody that that we went to school with is now a model, and I was paying $10 a month to her Patreon to support her until, number one, my Patreon bill was starting to get a little big, and also she seemed to be doing all right, and I felt a little bit creepy having her send me pictures of her titties.
I would not.
I mean, I did not look at the pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I couldn't subscribe to Casey's OnlyFans because, you know, that's your wife. It'd be weird.
You can
But-
pay my wife to show you her titties. I don't care.
But if I went to school with someone who had an OnlyFans, I'd be like, hey, what's your cervix look like? How much does that cost?
That's wow.
What do you
What's
do?
his cervix look like?
What do you do when you open that OnlyFans and you get a ding and it's a subscriber and you look and it's the guy that was chasing you around the playground going boobies? You're like, I knew it in 5th grade.
Oh shit!
No, I was already told by someone they wouldn't start an OnlyFans because they think I'd find it. It's like, damn, I can't even look at you naked.
Man, like not
I
even
mean,
pictures.
Hey, your body, your choice, but come on.
Yeah.
Fucking,
That's probably more of a like, hey, I know you're hip to the web tit, and you'd probably see me naked and it'd be weird.
it's like, why would it be weird? I'm too awkward to bring it up.
Oh, yeah,
You'll never know.
I'll never tell you I saw you naked.
You will never ever know.
I've been jerking off to you for like 25 years. Okay? I never told you. You know it, I know it, but we don't fucking unspoken thing here.
I thought you were talking to Ken for a second. I'm a little hot. What can I say? I was like, wait a minute, really? Wow.
This conversation happened when we were at the communion club, stuck in the parking garage. We just had this unknowing we jerk off to each other, waiting for the guy to come let us out of the parking garage. One of the Jasons walking around.
Oh my god.
It was all cold. My nipples were hard. Jason was like, I'm fucking coming to that later. Ken's like, yeah, me too.
That's going right in the spank.
Word, bro. Word, bro.
Oh no.
Word, Mr. Jason.
Yeah, good taste, sir.
Did we go over the further tragedy?
Oh, no. It's actually sad because, like, a week before the ball pit stuff happened, 2 weeks before it, is I went to her Twitter. I forget why I went, but, like, she lost one of her dogs.
Oh.
And when I say lost, I mean, like...
Misplaced?
No, I guess something fucking grabbed it and took it.
Like an animal? I said
Yeah.
monster.
Because all
like
she...
a monster.
Like an
The
eagle.
Heffalumps and Woozles got her dog.
Like an eagle and a small dog or something.
No, I remember seeing a video. It was like a tribute to the dog. And I
Aww.
was like, well, what happened to the dog? So I went to her Twitter and...
Ocelot. got
Yeah,
them.
like, all she found was, like, a pool of blood by a ravine towards her house.
Oh, it could have coyotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that shit out there in California.
And
Californian coyotes.
and
They'll eat up a small dog.
All she found was
I remember
a pool
Kevin
of
Smith.
Blood.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember Kevin Smith, like,
Oh.
his... telling a story about his dachshund nearly got snatched up.
Because, like, she wanted to go play with the other dogs.
Or something. I forget the specifics, but yeah.
I've heard several celebrities with dogs tell that story. Because, like, they live in California.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get a little dog if you live in California.
Uh-uh.
It's going to get eaten by coyotes.
It was a fucked up situation. Like, she paid to have, like, a search party come out so she could at least, like, find a body to bury it.
No.
And no one ever found anything.
Yeah, because that's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
And,
eaten.
like, 2 weeks later, she broke her ass. Broke her back. So, yeah, that's been, like, a shitty
That's
month
awful.
for her.
Yeah, that's awful.
It's going to be a long recovery with Muffins gone.
Yeah.
Fuck, now I feel bad. Like, I made a joke about the dog being called Muffins, but
I missed it.
I really feel bad. That's terrible. Muffins.
Well, speaking of hospitals,
Oh,
Doug's not the only member of the Gout Club anymore.
yeah. Hell yeah. Well, we're all on blood pressure meds,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We are.
Ken, you got some catching up to do. You got to get gout now and fake teethers.
I mean, you were.
I ain't getting fake teeth. I ain't doing that.
All right.
I'm fighting. You guys.
You could draw the line at gout too. That's fine.
Yeah. I'll take the gout. I mean, for the fun diarrhea, why not?
Oh.
I was gonna say you were having problems with that one foot.
I was. That has
Ooh.
pretty much cleared up after.
We're all turning into Josh's doctor, except instead of diabetes, it's gout.
Oh man.
Yeah, that did clear up. I did an exercise the other day and I hurt my hip. I thought that was fun, but some Russian exercise. We at work, my coworkers have done this. They're doing this thing where like every hour on the hour do 10 of some exercise throughout the day. So I was like, sure, I'll try it, and I did some Russian ass thing that made me move in a way I never moved before. My hip stopped working the next day. I was like, what the fuck? I don't got Russian hips.
Nope.
Well, that seemed to just taking the data. It was like my legs were like sore from a normal exercise, and then my hip hurt totally different. And I was like, I think I fucked my hip up, but I didn't.
Yeah, this whole thing caught me off guard because, like, you guys know I've been having this thing for like a couple years now where all of a sudden I can't walk on a foot for like 2 or 3 days, and then it goes away.
Yeah, I always
Like, that's
assumed
just
it
my
was
bad
right.
ankle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
What, I always assumed that's what it was.
Well, and I'd gone to doctors before for it, and they'd do x-rays, and they'd take blood, and they'd be like, uric acid seems fine, probably just tendonitis. But whatever it is, I mean, when that would happen, I'd start feeling like a tightness in my foot the day before it really flared up.
Where? Where's the tightness?
Like in my ankle.
Oh, okay. So I got tightness across the top of my foot. Sometimes.
Yeah, that happens too.
I might have to. Might be getting. Why am I in the gout club?
But
Gouty by Association.
I mean, like, when they said they were going to test for gout at the hospital, and that just fucking sucked because, it was my left foot. I was cleaning under the sink the one day, and when I stood up, I realized I stood up kind of weird. I put my weight in a weird way. I distributed it awkwardly. And I was like, I might end up paying for that tomorrow. And sure enough, I got that feeling, and I woke up, and I'm like, oh man, my foot's fucked. Like, I just absolutely throbbing the entire day. And I'm like, okay, maybe the next day it'll be better. No, for the next, like, 3 days, I'd say, it did not improve.
And that's like a standard thing at our advanced age of nearly 40. Where
Sure, you heal slower.
you do something, you're like, it's going to hurt for a couple days.
But,
So
I mean,
it's not...
this was so bad that I could not put weight on it. And I finally thought, well, you know what? I've lost some weight. Maybe I can pull myself around on crutches. And I started doing that. And I think in doing that, I fucking strained my right foot a little. And I fucking knew as soon as it happened, I was laying in bed that night and I'm like, my right foot's getting a little tight. Oh, fuck. And sure enough, I woke up, I think it was Monday morning I woke up. I was like, alright, I'm going to try to get out of bed and go to the bathroom. Now, mind you, because I could not walk, I didn't eat for like 3-4 days.
Oh, Jesus.
The day before when I got around on the crutches, I went out to the kitchen, and that was the first thing I'd eaten in a couple of days. But I was going off like 1 bottle of water, just taking little sips. Because, I didn't want to have to get up to use the bathroom or anything. That's how fucking bad it was. So I was going off like 1 bottle of water, that fucking Fiji bottle I had in Delaware. I was living off that 1 bottle, just nursing it for days.
You could be one of those snipers that's still out there, learning how to survive on the land. Just give me a Fiji bottle.
Well, now I tried to get up, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to stand on these feet. I guess I'm going to crawl to the bathroom. So I started crawling to the bathroom, and I was like, wait a second. How am I going to get up on the toilet? So then I just laid down in the hallway, and I was like, I got a problem here.
Well, this is as good a place as any.
And I pulled myself out to the fucking living room and rolled onto the couch because that was at least low enough. I was like, I can't stand. I think I gotta call a ambulance.
Yeah, if you're not going to be able to take care of yourself.
Y'all ever ride in an ambulance?
No. I got told that I should have.
Bruh.
With D. Her dad was like, next time call an ambulance. I was like, I didn't know what was happening.
Right. Well, yeah.
But I've never, that's as close. I should have, but I didn't.
Fucking good thing you didn't call an ambulance. If D was having a heart attack then, she'd had a fucking heart attack in the ambulance. That shit is terrifying. And they were going like speed limit. Hey, you're sitting on this fucking stretcher, and every little turn they do, you're just like,
Oh, gee, because you're strapped to it?
yeah.
Whee!
I mean, that was the most terrifying ride I have taken in my entire life. If I was in an emergency situation, I'd be like, oh, my heart's just gonna fucking blow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, major emergency situation, you're probably not even thinking about the movement around you because your head's probably spinning or some shit. Who knows what?
I mean, if you're lucky, you're already dead. Maybe they'll bring you back.
Look, I'm gonna die. Just resuscitate me. I'm just gonna lay out right now. If y'all could be ready to resuscitate me when we get there, that'd be great because this is too much.
I mean, honestly, if you go, you just be like, don't resuscitate me because that's a pretty fucking traumatic thing. They fuck you up when they resuscitate you.
Yeah.
They break your ribs, they shock you, they do everything. But no, yeah, I got to the ER, and they ran their tests, and they're like, oh, nothing wrong. We're going to send you home. I'm like, what do I do? I cannot stand.
Yeah, right?
That's when they gave me a Percocet.
Yeah.
I still could not stand. I did not give a fuck.
Yep, that's what I said. That's why they don't take the pain away. You just stop giving a shit.
Huh.
When I had COVID, when my throat was nearly closed, and he was like, I'll give you some oxys. I was like, my throat still hurts, but fuck if I care.
I think that painkillers are just particularly effective on me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, when I would have really bad gout flare-ups back in the day, I would take a Vicodin in the morning, and I'd be able to just walk on it all day, even though the flare-up was still in progress. And then, like, I'd wake up the next morning and not be able to walk on it again and have to take another single Vicodin.
Does that have anything to do with, like, you can't take aspirin? Like,
that I had Vicodin?
Or because you don't really take... I don't know.
Well, even when I used to take aspirin, because I wasn't always allergic to aspirin. Yeah. I used to take Anacin, which was aspirin and caffeine, and it worked. But also, like, effective. Tylenol with codeine was also very, very effective for intense pain. I don't know.
I know you have trouble. Like, you're hard to painkiller.
Yeah, nothing fucking works on me. But Percocet was fucking nice. I get addicted to them motherfuckers.
I could do with a few more of them, boys.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not long for this world, so just let me get some of them in my life.
You can buy them on the dark web.
That's too complicated for me.
It really is. It's basically too complicated for me. I don't want to do it anymore. That's why Casey got a weed card.
Yeah, they wanted to boot my ass out of there the same day. And finally, like, the one ER doctor came by, and they're like, well, what do you think? Can you go home? And I'm like, I guess. I mean, I don't know, like, what I'm going to do about walking. They're like, well, if you don't feel safe at home, it's like, just give me a minute to think about it. When she came back, I'm like, I can't walk. Just let me see how I feel tomorrow. So that led to me being admitted, and turns out, like, my white blood cell count was through the roof.
Really?
Yeah. Once they actually admitted me, probably.
Oh, no. That's a thing with AIDS, right? Or is that cancer?
I think cancer is AIDS when you don't have white blood cells.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Never mind, you don't have AIDS.
Oh. It's not a death sentence anymore.
It's true.
It's not. You can even take medicine to make it undetectable.
I'm just thinking about the South Park about that now. They're just, like, blending up money.
Yeah, the hospital stay is that interesting. Beds, they suck, but I mean, you just fucking chill, and they run tests on you, and then they wake you up at fucking 3 a.m, be like, hey, we're gonna run some tests in a couple hours. And they wake you up at 4 a.m. Another doctor's like, hey, we're gonna send someone down to do this. It's like, yeah, the guy at 3 told me that. And then someone comes in at 5:30, and they're like, all right, well, here's what we're gonna do, but we're not gonna do it yet.
We're gonna do it, like, tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you wake me up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning?
So, like, you've already only slept, like, 2 hours, and then you're just getting back to sleep. And
I think they do that on purpose to keep you on your toes.
Fucking physical therapist comes in, and they're like, all right, we're gonna get you up walking.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're all fucking bright and chipper because they had a... Yeah, we're gonna get you moving. Let's go, buddy.
They walked in, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I stink, but I've been pissing in a jug for 4 days. I can't stand, I can't shower. And they're like, we're wearing masks. I'm like, that's kind of you to say.
We all know
I got blankets on me, I can smell.
Yeah, we all know those masks aren't covering smells. We've all been wearing them.
Mm-hmm. We've all been wearing them and farted.
Yep.
Yeah. Sniffing farts through a medical mask.
And the next day they came in and they're like, all right, we're going to I forget the fucking actual term for it, but we're going to draw fucking fluid from your ankle and see what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Did they use the technical term?
Yeah. Aspirate, I think.
Yeah.
Don't say that to me. I don't know what that means. Come in and tell me you're going to jam a needle in my ankle if that's what you're going to do. And also, stop waking me up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, that wasn't as bad as the time I got a cortisone shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they didn't even numb me up or anything. They just fucking scrubbed it down and jammed it in there.
At least as soon as you get the actual cortisone shot, it's like instant relief, though.
Oh, it wasn't when I did.
No?
No.
Oh.
Well, no, because it pushes everything apart and cushions it. I know my mom, when she got it in her knee, it hurt for the day.
Really?
I think so, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'd love to get more cortisone shots.
No, when they
Put
gave
it
me
in.
cortisone a couple years ago, it did not do shit for me.
That sucks.
But
Where did they give it to you? For your knee?
no, the ankle.
Oh, well, no wonder it didn't do anything for you. Turns out that wasn't the issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, steroids are supposed to be good for gout.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
prednisone is supposed to knock out, like, a fucking difficult flare-up. But, yeah, no, the only part that really sucked about that was when the needle hits the bone.
Uh-huh.
That's an interesting feeling. Not in a good way.
It's like a
Not in a painful way, but in a very, you fucking feel it throughout your whole body.
it's a feeling it's the only way to feel that sensation is it doesn't you've
Have
never
somebody
felt anything
scrape
like
your
it.
bones with something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking sucking that fluid out of there, and the one doctor's like, that looks gouty. And I'm just there fucking all smug in my head. I'm like, it's not fucking gout. They've tested me for gout 1,000,000 times. It's not fucking gout.
And didn't you say that they came back initially and said it wasn't gout?
When I looked in the results on my phone, the patient portal, you know when something's wrong, it gives you a check mark. It's like,
And
this
if they were
is an
testing for
abnormal
gout, you would
result.
have been looking at uric acid levels.
Yeah. Well, no, my uric acid level was like fucking 11. Like, it's sky high.
Wow.
Out of nowhere, because it's never been like that, right?
I have no clue. I have
Or you've never looked at it because it's never shown as...
The only people who have, I guess, actually checked my uric acid were the urgent care the one time and the actual foot place the other time, and neither of those are in my patient portal, so I don't know what my level was. But
But it obviously wasn't high enough for them to think gout.
yeah,
Yeah, once you're above, like a 3 to 4? Or was it a little higher than that?
they say like 6.8 is the saturation level.
Ah. So you want to be below that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you're even teetering around that level, they should probably be a little concerned if you're experiencing foot problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they came back and like, you got gout.
Ooh,
We're gonna give you some non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Like, well, those don't fucking work for me.
So aspirin?
No, aspirin's apparently no good for it. What'd they give me?
Ibuprofen?
They gave me like max strength Aleve.
Aleve is naproxen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And 500 milligrams of naproxen.
And they tell you
It's
max
not
strength,
nothing,
but you know
but-
what else you can do to get max strength naproxen?
Just take a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take like 2 of them.
That's what my father-in-law, he's an RN. Well, he'll just say like, well, you could call the doctor or you could just take more Advil. That's all they're going to do for you for whatever. He's done that a
And
couple
they're going
times.
to charge you $30.
Yeah, he was like, no,
each
just take
tablet
like
of Advil.
4 Advil instead of 2. Even my doctor's like, how many do you take? I'm like, 2. He's like, he's like, don't bother. You got a big bottle?
You're reading the instructions on the bottle.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to prescribe you anything. Just take 4 of those. Okay.
Yeah. So, that's my gout story.
Are you on like a anti-gout medicine now?
Not yet.
I
They,
wonder if you talk to your doctor about it, if they might switch your blood pressure meds. Because the one that I'm on is also specifically good at keeping your uric acid levels low.
Oh, yeah?
A twofer.
Which one are you on?
Losartan?
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't actually keep my blood pressure down, but I haven't had a gout attack in a while. They took me off the gout meds to
Yeah.
put me on it.
Well, they gave me colchicine, which...
That's the
Doug
diarrhea
informed
medicine,
us,
right?
Is the diarrhea medicine.
And that's the one when you actually have a flare-up.
Yeah.
Was it
What-
pretty effective?
Kind of. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be most effective when, like, you first feel it coming on. That's when you hit it. And it's supposedly supposed to stop it, like, dead in its tracks.
And it does.
It does?
Oh yeah, when you get that tight feeling,
Uh-huh.
pop a couple of colchicine, then the next day take another one, probably go away.
Oh.
At least that's how it works for me.
That's how it's supposed to work too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, then they gave me, like, 1 in the hospital, and they gave me 5 to take at home. You know, every day. And they can't give you, like, a whole lot of them because it's fucking toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That's why you get the shits.
Yeah. So, I mean, that lasted me until, like, 2 days ago. And I think, like, the gout pain ended up kind of fucking off maybe 2 or 3 days after I actually got out of the hospital. But now my ankles just fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And I've been walking around on crutches and canes ever since. And today I was just like, you know what? There's like no change in the pain I'm feeling. I'm going to try to fucking ditch the hardware and just see if I can tough it out. Terrible idea,
Yeah,
mind you.
yeah.
Okay, because now not only do my ankles fucking hurt, and I don't think they hurt worse, but not only do my ankles fucking hurt, my hip fucking hurts.
Yeah. You gotta slowly get back into movement.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go to my doctor tomorrow. Going looking for a fight. Like, look, I've read a fucking whole lot about this in the last week and a half. Don't you fucking dick me around with what you're giving me.
I have a gout-related question. Given that gout is the only form of arthritis that is affected by diet, what can you eat now?
Fucking nothing. Literally nothing. Like,
That fucking sucks, dude.
doing keto, I was getting most of my fat from salmon and avocados. But guess what? On the on the don't fucking eat list for gout.
The high purine list.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
Chicken as well.
You could switch to a different fish that doesn't have as much purine content, but like those fish aren't good.
No, they're not. But at the same time, I don't even like salmon.
So it might not be that much of a step down for you.
Yeah, I
The
just
salmon's a stronger flavored fish. What are the
True.
other fish on the list?
I mean,
like a
it's
haddock
like-
or
no, that's on the do not eat list too. All the stuff that usually comes fried and is like really really good battered and fried.
Yeah.
Can't eat that.
yeah. I mean, they showed me a list for dummies of things I should and shouldn't eat, and I'm like, well, the things that says I should eat, I can't eat because fucking fatty liver. Like, I'm trying to take care of this, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, that makes sense. You know, like, the things I'm supposed to eat, they're on the don't eat list. It's like, oh yeah.
So salmon is actually on the list that you can have in moderation. But I guess
If it's
If
your
you're-
main source.
if it's your main
it's not
source.
a moderation kind of deal.
you can also do like tilapia, flounder, catfish. I do like me some catfish.
I don't like catfish.
Oh, I love catfish.
Tilapia's
I like fish though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tilapia's alright. It's milder. It doesn't taste as much like fish.
Well,
I
I go to the doctor tomorrow, and I mean, I imagine he'll give me a prescription for more colchicine for when I actually have flare up. And you're like, dude, give me a referral to a rheumatologist, rheumatologist. I don't know how you say it.
Rheumatologist, I think. Yeah, just
'Cause, like,
get it ironed out.
The fucking gout's their wheelhouse. And I guess allopurinol is like a
that's the
big
common-
prevention med. Like
Yeah.
that gets in you and it lowers your uric acid level. But the thing that sucks about it is while it's lowering it, you're susceptible to more flare-ups because it's breaking up what's in your body, and gout is your immune system reacting to
uric
those
acid,
crystals.
it becomes crystallized, right? That's
Yeah,
what
that's
causes
why
the
it-
issues.
yeah.
So it's just breaking it up and
What they're also probably going to do, and I will tell you, I did not have the experience of while the allopurinol was lowering my levels that I got more gout attacks. I think I had one other one that I felt starting to come on.
Yeah.
I took the colchicine and nipped it in the bud, and after that I was fine for quite a while. But what they're probably going to do is they'll put you on some allopurinol, and then have you come back in like 3 months,
Yeah.
and then they'll take blood and do some blood work on you, and then
Change your dose around.
yeah,
fuck
it
with
took me like a year for them to dial in my dose of allopurinol. That
Yeah.
sucked.
I've seen that. Like, some people take like 3 years to get their shit going.
God.
But I mean, like, it's a weird situation to me because I've been going through this with my ankles for 5 years now. Mm-hmm. So if it was gout this entire time, and I'm telling you, like, when that shit came on, it was bad like that. You know, I could not walk.
Yeah.
Period. So in my mind, it must be gout, because then all of a sudden it'll clear up and everything will be perfectly fine. You know, just
Kind
just
of
like gout.
saying gout makes everything make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I imagine this has just been in me for a long ass time now, and I don't know why it didn't come up before.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've read that when they test your uric acid, like during a flare up, it's lower than what it actually is.
Oh.
So maybe I was like at that threshold. I imagine this is all terribly uninteresting for people, but
This isn't for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
It really isn't. If other people get enjoyment out of our podcast,
Yeah.
it's purely incidental.
we'll go back to not talking about fucking kids in a little bit.
Yeah. So I was dealing with what I'm pretty sure was gout the whole time since we made BK.
Yeah.
When
Until a few years ago when I
Yeah.
figured it out. And like it was the same kind of experience where they're like, well, that's gout. Gout does this and this and this, and it's caused by eating way too much chicken liver. And I was like, that makes perfect sense.
fucking flashback to when we went to Saturday's Market with Brinker and you were
yeah.
eating chicken liver.
That was after the gout diagnosis.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were like, dog, and you were like,
I was like, guys, I don't give a fuck. I love me some chicken livers.
that's right. That was after.
That is the
we were
most.
like, what are you doing?
That is the most central Pennsylvania shit I've ever done in my life. I went to Saturday's Market and gorged on chicken livers, knowing full well I had gout.
Yeah, so I really don't know what I'm going to do with my diet. I'm probably not going to do anything. Because, like, the things on the can list are so slim for me. And it sounds like once people get on a preventative drug, diet doesn't play as big of a role in flare-ups as previously thought.
It's true. I have been avoiding beer for the most part, though. That is supposed to be the worst thing.
I mean, I don't know.
I found a drink.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I swear to God, it's ridiculous. The Bud Light seltzers. They're soda seltzers. It's alcoholic soda.
It's good.
It's alcoholic soda. It's so good.
I thought you were going to talk about like a cocktail.
No.
You start with a Bud Light seltzer.
No. They are really good. Like
Yeah, they are.
the White Claw I've had, and I was like, it's whatever.
That's sparkling water.
Yeah, no, this is soda.
Yeah.
Like the cola tastes like a diet soda. The orange is fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's so good. It just tastes like soda with not real sugar in it. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's kind of like a diet soda.
Yeah, it's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I can do these.
See, that's a weird thing, because I haven't really drank in years.
Yeah.
Like, one beer
Every once in a
occasionally.
while. Yep.
Extremely occasionally. But as soon as I'm, like, looking down the gout list, I'm like, fuck, I fucking want a beer or something. It's not
Found
fair.
out somebody just told me I have gout. I need a beer.
I don't want to drink beer most of the time, but now that you're telling me I'm not supposed to, I want one.
Oh yeah. My I was talking to my mom the other week, and she said something like, "I'm so glad you don't." We were talking about a family thing, and she was like, "I'm just glad you don't really have a problem with alcohol like that." And I was like, "Yeah, I've had beer go bad. You know how hard it is to get beer to go bad and like." And not just like it was sitting like I had Mad Elf that aged out.
Damn.
Bruce bought me Mad Elf when he moved to LA, and I got rid of it after he moved back. Because once I realized it was like 8 years, I was like, well, fuck it. Let's see what it tastes like in 10. It was disgusting.
Mad Elf is a lot.
I'm over it. I don't.
When it's fresh.
Yeah.
I can only imagine if you let it skunk, it's not good.
No, I'm over the Mad Elf thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had it in years, but I liked Mad Elf.
I'd have a glass of Mad Elf a year. That's how I would usually roll.
Yeah. If it's, I'll have one, but I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
now
not
I'd
fiending
have,
for fucking any alcohol at this
I'd
point.
have a sip of Mad Elf at this point.
Right.
If somebody's got a Mad Elf and they want to offer me a sip, I'll take a sip. I take a sip of most of Casey's beers because I like to try them because she tries all kinds of new stuff. But, nah.
I think Mad Elf was more in my wheelhouse, though.
Yeah.
Like, I always liked dark beers. I didn't really give a shit about IPAs.
I always like the taste of cough syrup, huh?
Yeah, I don't.
I agree. Dark beers for the win.
I liked IPAs until they became famous and popular, and now they all suck. They're fucking awful.
I've always hated IPAs. I don't like the hops.
There are some that I still love.
I liked...
I don't try. You'll never see me order like, oh, what's your IPA? No, fuck you. Your IPA is probably terrible because most of them are terrible at this point because people think it is. People just like, oh, I want bitter beer. No, balance that fucker.
I don't even want it balanced. I want the maltiest
Yeah.
fucking beer you can give me. I'll drink a Yingling.
Yeah,
That's not super hoppy.
No, Yingling.
Give me a stout, give me a porter. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking IPAs, man. What was Trogue's big IPA? Hop Nugget? Hop something?
Nugget
Troegenator
Nectar.
was-
Nugget
Nugget
Nectar.
Oh, Nugget Nectar.
I remember
Wasn't
Nugget
Troegenator
Nectar
an
always...
IPA too?
No,
No,
that's
that was a Bach.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I remember Nugget Nectar always being like a big deal. Or what?
No, Nugget
No.
Nectar. That's
Was that the seasonal?
yeah. Nugget Nectar is
Okay.
a seasonal.
Yeah.
That's good. They're what's it called? They have a IPA that's not seasonal and it's awful and people are like crazy for it. I'm like, y'all, you're stupid. That's terrible stuff.
What about
Nugget
that?
Nectar, I like.
What about that ABC Jolly Scott, though?
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's what I drank on the Growlers.
Me too.
Yep.
I think we both got a Growler Jolly Scott.
I drank Dream Weaver for Night of the Growlers. So I played it smart. I went light.
You didn't use Dreamweaver as your entrance theme, though.
No, I didn't.
Missed a trick there. I don't remember what it was, but I recently downloaded it from Ken Soulseek.
What?
There was a Night of the Growlers playlist in
Oh yeah.
Soulseek.
No, his was the Takemichi Noku. Fuck you mix.
Oh yeah.
Yup. I had two themes.
Oh yeah, you were Rock Me Amadeus because we were like, that's your interesting. You're like, I don't want that, and we are like, well, it is, so that's what you're coming in like. And then you had another. You had another one.
Who did the Dreamweaver cover? Was it
Was it
Type of
cover?
Negative or Crowbar?
Oh no.
It was a real good cover. But I cannot remember. It's been so long since I heard it.
It wasn't Typo. Who was the other?
Crowbar.
candidate? Yeah.
It was Crowbar.
Yeah. Fucking ads.
And
That guy looks like David Cross with a beard.
David Cross.
He's like a 400-pound David Cross with a beard.
Yeah, he looks a lot like David Cross in that shot.
David Cross actually has a beard now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big old gray one. Oh, I can see why you thought this might have been Type O.
Yeah.
Coming out of phone speakers, it doesn't sound as good, but that's a solid ass cover.
Hang on.
Oh boy.
Little tweeter time.
Coming out of tweeters. I gotta fucking open that shit back up and finish it.
Songs.
Oh,
The
the songs.
songs.
Yeah. They're good, man. I want to hear a final edit. What the fuck are you doing? What are you...
It always comes down to in the end that I don't know what I'm doing, and I think it matters.
I Googled a little bit and was like, okay, so what should he be doing? Like, this is a weird problem to have. And they're like, oh yeah, use your reference monitors and then use headphones and then use your phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm pretty sure that's been covered already. What do you do when that doesn't work?
Yeah, what do you do when you get 3 completely different results?
Yeah. I could see this sounding real good in headphones.
And like coming through something where like you really get the full effect.
Yeah.
Like it.
Like a nice pair of headphones, that would probably really shine.
They're just one of those bands where their sound like envelops you.
Like Dracula.
Like Dracula.
Dracula.
Fucking love Dracula. Casey had the idea last night before we went to bed. She was like, hey, we can hook up 2 Bluetooth headphones to the same phone, right? And I'm like, no, that's not a thing that we figured out how to do as a species yet. For some reason. We can't do that. I said, we do have a device that will let 2 Bluetooth headphones pair to it, and then you plug it into a headphone jack, but our phones don't have headphone jacks anymore. So that's not going to work either. She's like, what if? And I'm like, first of all, why are you asking this? Why do you want to hook up 2 pairs of headphones to the same phone? And she's like, well, when we go up to bed, I want to like listen to music together, but like the birds are asleep. So I wanted to like, and I was like, let's do Spotify.
Fucking romantic ass shit.
Right? Right? I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, let's make that happen. So I'm like, let's do Spotify, and we'll just do a listening party, and we'll have it play from both of our devices at the same time. And we could just each pair our own headphones to the phone. And so we were talking about what we were going to play, because she's like, we don't listen to a whole lot of real chill music, do we? And I'm like, no, we really don't. And I was like, the first thing I was thinking about putting on was Dracula. And she's like, oh, we can listen to Dracula. I was like, you're a keeper.
You know what's never going to happen in my relationship?
Yeah. That's never going to happen.
I mean,
fuck you, we're not listening to Dracula. Well, she wouldn't say fuck you, but...
I mean, now, to be fair, if we could listen to like an 80s or 90s mix.
You could tell her Dracula was 80s.
Yeah, but like, I'm talking 80s pop.
You could tell her Dracula was pop. She wouldn't buy it.
We can find some common ground.
Did you listen to that Dracula song? Mm-hmm. Dee would not enjoy that.
No, not at all.
See, no, what you gotta do is you gotta like slip one song into a playlist of hers. And just fucking backdoor it.
Oh, like that time.
Backdoor in the Dieters.
Like that time I put "Achy Breaky Heart" in the middle of Iron Maiden.
Yeah, exactly.
Burn an Iron Maiden CD and dropped "Achy Breaky Heart" in the middle of it. I thought I was so clever.
Just like I thought I was clever when I burned an entire CD that was nothing but The Morning After.
Yeah,
knew it was coming.
Yeah. And then I think I dropped in a Rickroll in the middle, but every other track on that CD was just The Morning After. Yeah, we listened to Dracula, and then we listened to some Zeal and Ardor, which is satanic black metal. Mm-hmm. And then we actually started playing. Like I put on like No Rain.
Yeah. No Rain. We can agree on that.
It's a chill song.
Yeah, we can.
It's a
agree on
real
that.
chill song. I was thinking about transitioning a little better because we went from satanic black metal to Blind Melon in one song. But the only thing I could think to bridge the gap would have been something like 90s alternative.
Yeah.
Or like grunge. And I'm like, well, I could put some local H in this playlist, but that's not gonna like calm me down.
I got a group for you guys after the show.
Oh.
Either of you ever hear of Twin Temple?
No.
They're a satanic doo-wop group.
Nice.
You had me at Satan. You know I'm a huge mark for Satan.
I keep seeing Thursday Night Football pop up on your TV thing.
Really?
It's one of the ads that scrolls by.
Yeah, why do they think I want to watch football?
It's Amazon bought Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Just flat out
Okay.
bought it.
Look,
Took it away
this-
from network television.
This is why capitalism is over, right? Like, we can't let people get big enough to buy Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
On Prime Video.
Uh-huh.
It took the institution that was Thursday Night Football.
Jesus.
See, you know, if them fools weren't kneeling,
They'd
it
still
would
have
still be on
Thursday Night.
cable.
No,
People stopped caring so much about football that the price dropped enough that even poor bozos like Bezos can afford it. That's the right wing spin.
Oh my god.
I don't know if it is or not.
It's not. No, they know how filthy rich he
Yeah.
is. They just love
That's
it.
right. Yeah, that's right.
a couple years
I
ago,
can do that someday.
I signed up for DraftKings, like
Yeah.
daily fantasy.
Huh.
Like, I just gave them like $5. So for the past few years, I get all their spam emails now, and I just ignore them because what the fuck do I even know about sports anymore? But my dad had opened up a DraftKings thing to bet on football games. So I finally like clicked on one of the emails I got, and they were giving me like $100 in free bets. Like they were giving me 4 free $25 bets.
Huh.
So I didn't have to put any money at all into this aside from like the $5 I did however many years ago. And I started betting on sports with it. And the first night, like 2 of those bets were nothing, but I ended up winning like $60. I'm like, okay, it's fucking $60. I'm going to bet all of that on something because whatever, it's not
Free money.
actually my money.
Yeah.
So, and I bet all of that on something, and I won. Where did I bet it on? I bet it on like the Yankees beating someone by, I don't remember how many runs, and the Dodgers beating the Rockies by a bunch of runs.
They seem like safe bets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
extremely
well-
safe bets. Extremely safe bets.
The Yankees had won, and then it gave me the option to like cash it out, and if I cashed it out, I could have like taken $90. But I was like, well, the Rockies are supposed to suck, and the Dodgers are supposed to be one of the best teams, so of course, you know, they're gonna fucking stomp them. I turned on the game at like 11:30. And the Rockies were kicking the shit out of the Dodgers. And like the bottom of the 7th, they were up by 4 runs. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Well, you know what happened? The Rockies fucking walked 6 batters in a row and tied the game up. And then the next inning, the Dodgers just kept fucking on them. I ended up winning like $120.
Nice.
And then I turn around and I put $120 on another, like,
Was it 2-1?
I don't, no, it was they were up by like 4 runs. I think it was 5.
Oh no, I
to
mean
run.
like the odds on the bet. Was it like
Well-
2-1 against the
Well,
Dodgers?
I think,
not
but here's the
beating-
thing. Because you
Dodgers
can't watch
beating
sports nowadays without being pounded with DraftKings and odds.
You can't even watch YouTube nowadays.
It's changing. Like, the
It
odds
changes
change throughout the
during
entire game.
and you can
Whenever
dip
you
out
place your bet.
whenever. Yeah.
Whenever you want to place your bet, it's like sell high, like a fucking
So if you
stock
had
market.
placed that bet right before they started walking motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, no, I had put the bet in earlier in the day. and I did a parlay or whatever. So, like, your odds go way up, or your payout goes way up because both things have to hit for you to win.
Ah, okay.
So, anyway, like, I mean, they walked in, they tied the game in walks, and the Dodgers ended up shitting on them in the next inning, and they covered the spread.
Wow.
So I forget how much I won, but I ended up fucking winning money there. And then the next day I got like an odds boost thing because I guess DraftKings figures this is all just fucking free promotion. You know, we're gonna write this shit off anyway, and if people lose, they fucking lose. Who cares?
Yeah.
So the odds boost was like if some quarterback completes this many passes, you fucking win. So I put everything I had on that quarterback getting those passes because everyone on the internet was like, this is a fucking surefire thing. And neither quarterback even threw a fucking touchdown the entire game. Like, it came down to the very last drive of the game. And he finally threw enough passes for me to get the win. I got like fucking $320 in DraftKings.
I might fuck around with DraftKings just to help pay for the replacement projector I want to get. Right? Just to give it that little extra boost.
Yeah.
Speaking of betting on sports,
betting on chess now?
No.
Okay.
This happened earlier.
You hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This happened earlier in the season, obviously, but the Phillies had a celebration of the 81 team that won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And they allowed somebody back for the celebration that hasn't been allowed many places. Good old Pete Rose.
I was gonna say, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they let Pete Rose come back. And throughout the game, they would have a couple players come up and sit in the booth and talk through an inning or two.
Uh-huh.
Now, first of all, John Kruk is one of the commentators.
Okay.
John Kruk is amazing. He is fucking fantastic. If you don't even give a fuck about baseball, watch a game with John Kruk.
I give a little bit of a fuck about baseball.
Then even better.
Okay.
Because if he's got great insight, but he also just tells stories. Like, he was telling a story about how his brother knocked some girl up, and they wanted to get married, but her dad didn't want them, so the brother distracted the dad with the shotgun, and like they got the girl to jump in the car, and they took her over state lines and shit. It's fantastic. He's from West Virginia, so you know.
Some West Virginia ass shit
Yeah.
right there.
It is.
And like one game, he was just going off. We're just watching. There's a guy sitting kind of in a lot of the shots behind home plate with a big bag of Cape Cod potato chips. And John's like, where does one get a bag of... And they went on for like 3 innings talking about this guy's potato chips. He's fucking fantastic. He's the best ever. But they have, guys coming in and out of the booth. Well, they brought Pete Rose up there, and he didn't understand that he was on television. And they were like, for the longest time...
He's not used to being allowed on television.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're like, welcome Pete to the booth, and John's like, hey Pete, and he's like, I knew you when you had 2 balls. Very first thing he said. And they were like, oh god, and then he's dropping F-bombs and stuff.
Oh,
and they're trying, like, T-Mac, the other guy, was trying to keep it on track, and this train is completely off the rails. And he's like, yeah, Pete, when you got traded to wherever, he was like, what was that like? And he was like, well, I could have gone to Pittsburgh, but again, he's like, I if they wanted me to go to Pittsburgh, the guy, I love the horse races, and I wanted him to give me a horse. And I said, give me the one with the biggest balls, and he wouldn't do it.
Is it because he asked like that?
Yeah. I'm just like, oh god, Pete Rose is a sleazy dude. Like, fuck Pete Rose, but that was entertaining ass television.
My god.
Very first words out of his mouth.
I need you to text me the name of that commentator.
John Kruk.
Yeah,
Crucky.
I'm not going to remember it.
I remember John Kruk.
Crucky's amazing.
Has he always just done baseball?
Yeah, he was.
He was their first baseman.
He was
for a
Philly's
long
first
time.
baseman when they made it to the World Series in the 90s. He's the one that had testicular cancer.
I
he's
gathered
only got
that
one
happened
ball.
at some point. Yeah.
I remember in 4th grade.
He voluntarily had it removed as a cosmetic thing.
Yeah, I remember in 4th grade we were sitting there. I forget what the teacher asked. But Ed Reed in my class raised his hand. He was like, John Kruk, he only got one ball because he got nut cancer. Screamed it out.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
Oh.
That was the last time I cared about baseball. Like,
That was a good team. No, not John Skull.
being a Philly sports fan for me was especially tough because I used to actually fucking love sports. And then,
Not John Skull, it's John Kruk.
yeah, then the Phillies fucking blew it to the Blue Jays. And I was like, damn, that's fucking heartbreaking. I'm just not going to watch baseball anymore. And then, I just kind of...
Scroll.
kind of got out of football, I guess. Just, I don't know, getting in, like, punk music and skateboarding and shit
there's
like
only
that.
so-
You
only so
don't-
much
don't really
room.
give a shit about football anymore.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the Phillies and the Eagles went on to win championships, and it...
Wait,
at one
the
time...
Phillies this year won the championship?
No.
No, 2000. They're
Are they still in?
yeah.
I thought they were done.
They fucked the Braves right in the ass,
Oh,
man.
dude,
Oh,
it's
shit.
been fantastic. It's
So-
been fantastic.
So, like, our project manager at work
Uh-huh.
took a 4-day weekend recently because she said that she was going to go to Philadelphia, hole up in a bar, and watch the Phillies play postseason ball for the first time, and she doesn't remember how long. I know she knows exactly how long. She knows the last time. She knows the year.
She can't
The
watch.
last time that
she
they
can't.
played postseason.
You can't watch
but-
the Phillies without them talking about.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the postseason for 11 years. It's every single game they talk about it.
Yeah, I know for a fact she knows that. But she's like, I'm doing it, and everybody's like, she said "Go Phillies" at the end of her email, telling everybody that like she works closely with, and she was doing that. And she says "Go Phillies," and the only responses that she got to that thread were people talking up their own baseball teams. Like, one of our other like program managers is from Texas. And so, like, she,
The Astros.
yeah. So she, like, put up the, whatever they say
Yeah.
down there in Texas. And I was like,
They're a
well,
team.
since the Red Sox are done for the season, go Phillies, I
Yeah.
guess.
No, it's been really fun because, just in a nutshell, they've spent a lot of money putting the team together. Sucked for the first half of the year. Fired the manager. Promoted a guy who's never been coach, and they've been the second best team in baseball ever since.
Oh, my God.
And then this is the first year that they had 3 wild card teams, and it's kind of shitty, but awesome because the Phillies got one, the Padres got the other, and then the third team didn't make it in. I think that's how it worked. Whatever. But both the wild card teams knocked out 2 teams with 100 plus wins. And people are like, oh, it's like, well, whatever, man. I'll take what I can get.
That's how it goes sometimes, though. Sometimes you're playing poker and you get bad beat.
Yeah.
Sometimes that river card is just exactly what somebody else needs to catch.
AKA.
The whole league got
Yeah.
bad beat
Yeah.
by the Phillies
Oh,
this
it's
year.
fantastic. It's so good. It's so good. We were watching the Saturday. Yeah, Saturday was the game where if they beat the Braves, they moved on to the championship series. And we're like, we should go. Like, you know what? We haven't been to a game in a couple years since before COVID. Like, we should go. And Dee's like, well, the prices for the Saturday game are like $300 to $400 to take. And I was like, that's tough.
Ooh,
But
that's
You know what?
steep.
You won't regret it.
No. And we were definitely going to do it until they clinched and the tickets doubled
Oh.
in price. We were down.
Everybody was like, I gotta see this shit. Buy tickets.
Yeah. I was like, we were going to go this Saturday, and then the prices. I mean, it's ridiculous. The prices are insane. We went to a playoff game before, back in like 2010, and it was awesome.
If I'm gonna pay to go see a baseball game nowadays, it's gonna be minor league. I'll go to City Island.
Yeah.
It's a nice little stadium they got there, and it's a fun game.
Oh, nothing beats Philly, man. Nothing beats like being around all those drunk Philly fans. It's fantastic.
I don't know. I think that might be too much. For
It
me.
could. I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it definitely can be. Actually,
Have a fucking autistic meltdown at the Phillies
yeah,
game.
exactly. There was people's phones kept going off at the game on Saturday, saying, "Hey, you're in an environment where the decibels are really loud."
You're going to say the devil.
The devil.
You're in an environment where the devil holds sway. Lord of this world.
Yeah, like everybody's phones is like, "Yo, it's real fucking loud. You might want to use some ear protection."
I've been to enough punk shows. I don't need no ear protection.
It's fun. Oh, I do.
Yeah, me too. Last punk shows we went to, I was wearing earplugs.
Uh-huh. I used to pop them out if it was a band I'd want to sing along to, but I can't even do that anymore.
I regret ever doing that.
Yep.
Speaking of punk rock, I recently divvied up the libraries on our Plex server a little bit. And so now it's not just movies, TV shows, stage shows.
Yeah.
It's like movies and then documentary films and then TV shows and then documentary series, anthology series, that kind of thing. So I was like, well, I have a listing for like documentary films, but we don't have that many documentary films on here. It feels a bit pretentious to separate out documentary films.
When you have 4 of them.
Well, there were more than 4, but not that much more, honestly. It was like a dozen. Yeah. So I'm like, well, let me fill out the collection of documentaries a little bit. And I put The Decline of Western Civ 1, 2, and 3 on there. And Casey looks at it and she goes, I still haven't seen these. We own this documentary series on Blu-ray. I feel like you're a big fan. And I'm like, yeah, do you want to watch one? She's like, yeah. I was like, do you want to watch 2? And she's like, well, should we not start with 1? And I'm like, 1 is a fascinating document of the early like hardcore punk scene in LA. 2 is a fun documentary to watch.
Yeah.
She wanted to watch 1. We watched 1. We got to the end of it. She's like, it was very well made. It was boring as fuck. I want to watch 2. I was like, 2's mostly about hair metal. You're going to love it.
That's the one with Ozzy making eggs, right? Just completely missing the
pouring orange juice all over the counter.
I liked 1.
I did too.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I can see if you're not interested in the subject matter on that level.
I didn't like 3. Because 3 was just a downer.
I never saw
3 goes back to punk, but it's about the whole like gutter punk culture, and it's like it's gonna be a downer if you follow these people around for long enough.
Yeah, a bunch of them are dead now.
Yeah, yeah. I think only one person in Decline of Western Civ 1 died. Well, actually, no.
He
didn't die until it was what's his fuck from the Germs?
Darby.
Yeah,
and he died immediately.
Yeah, Darby Crash died.
He's like, I'm Darby Crash, I'm dead.
Yeah, like their manager quit in April of that year. The documentary came out a little later, and then like a couple months after the documentary came out, Darby died.
They're such a weird band because like they have that one record.
Yeah. I have a copy.
Everybody's like, at this point, I don't even know who even can give a fuck, because everybody's like, well, the record isn't great, but if you saw them live, you would understand. It's like, well, nobody who knows, like.
Well, the record is just a live recording anyway.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's weird. They're a weird band.
Yeah.
No, the record was a studio recording.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I don't think I have the actual record then.
It's just the black record with the blue circle.
Yeah.
Mine is a live show.
Okay, yeah. That's probably better.
And
Right.
they did,
according to,
They did a full length, and I think they had a couple singles, like Lexicon Devil, Forming.
I'm pretty sure I only ever had maybe a collection where they just put everything on one.
I think that was MIA. Like the Complete Germs or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And I mean, it's a weird thing because I listen to it and I'm like, this is awful, but I also appreciate it.
Yes, that's
not it.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, this is live, 1977.
Well, according to popular opinion, that's probably better because they were
a live band.
They were a live band, yeah.
But Darby was so fucked up on stage, how could it actually be that much better?
Well, if you're there. probably.
Like, one of the main things
I
that they
don't
were
know.
talking about in the documentary was that they couldn't get him to sing into the microphone.
Yeah, they're weird because it's like everybody's like, yeah, the drums are amazing, but there's not a great document of why.
I've seen a
I
live
think
show.
the big thing is like what they did at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was when they did it, more so than what they did.
yeah.
Because when the germs happened, there was nothing like the germs.
It's like Seinfeld.
You can, yeah.
The germs are like Seinfeld.
Yeah, they were the
You know what?
Seinfeld of punk rock.
Yeah.
I would honestly listen to the germs more than I'd watch Seinfeld now.
Me too.
I
I do listen
And
to the
I-
germs more
yeah.
than I watch Seinfeld.
Yeah, I can honestly say that.
And I mean, Seinfeld's on TV every day, so it inevitably winds up on my screen. But I'm just like, I don't really care much about this. There's a couple episodes where I'm like, okay, that's still a good episode, but this just doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
And it never really did. I tried to like it
neither
because
did
I
I.
knew people who liked it, but it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't find that method of comedy funny either. I can understand it being funny, but it's not for me.
Yeah. I'm remembering now was the first thing Casey said after Decline Volume 1 was over. She said that was a lot of swastikas.
Yeah, it was not.
I advanced a theory. You guys know more about this era of punk than I do, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. But I have a theory that at first, the proliferation of swastikas in punk rock was like because it was subversive.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
they found out, oh no, some of these people are actually fucking Nazis. And then they had to fight the Nazis
Yeah,
at the clubs.
pretty much. It was.
Okay.
I mean, the Sex Pistols were wearing swastikas because it's subversive.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's
then-
it's partially that, but it's also that like punk in the last 20 years is vastly different from punk in the first 10 years of its existence.
Sure.
And not musically, but the people involved. Like you just had straight up scumbags who really did not care. Punk,
Yeah, most
punk
of the
was there.
bands were like
exclusive-
legitimately criminals. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, punk was violence. Punk was gang activity.
That was the element.
Even fucking Bad Religion. I'm still reeling over that
Yeah.
revelation.
It's pretty wild. And I mean, in today's world, there's a lot more morals in punk. That's what it comes down to.
There's a punk ethos now.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
back then it was just punk.
So I mean, where some people would wear the swastika because it was subversive, some people would wear the swastika because they didn't give a fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, Darby drops an N-bomb in the documentary. A couple of people do. And he calls a dude a wetback. He calls a dead dude a wetback. Like,
there you go.
a different time, sure, but also Darby was a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
it's say the things you're not allowed to say, do the things you're not allowed to do, wear the things you're not allowed to wear.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. Can't make excuses for it.
yeah, and then some people just that's what they became. I wear that, I'm wearing this swastika because it pisses people off. Then eventually you pissed everybody off, and it's your identity.
And also, like, you're wearing swastikas. Do you want Nazis? Because
Yeah.
that's how you get Nazis. And they got Nazis!
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like more of an issue in England, in Great Britain, because
The Nazi skinheads was more of an issue in Britain.
I think initially,
Oh.
just because it was
I think the skinhead movement was
yeah,
bigger.
that came in Britain.
Yeah, true. I mean, I know, like New England and like New York, like there was a skinhead thing, but like it wasn't exclusively a racist thing, and that had to be confusing
And like it wasn't
eventually.
even to begin with. It wasn't a racist thing
Yeah.
in England. Like,
Oh yeah.
It wasn't even a punk thing; it was a reggae thing
yeah,
initially.
Oh.
Like that was the music that the skinhead working class people kind of gravitated towards.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, in reggae, they'll, like, talk about people who aren't Rastas and call them bald heads.
There you go.
But then they're shaving their heads and listening to reggae.
But yeah, like a whole lot of black skinheads, like in the early days.
Yep.
It was. It wasn't a racist thing until punk, really. Like you just had that sect that co-opted it. But I mean, it's still a thing where the majority of skinheads in England weren't Nazis. It's just one of those things.
It only takes a few.
Yeah.
And I mean, no one's going to publicize the non-racist skinheads.
Right. Why would
But,
they?
I don't know. It just became the image. I remember when I got the Dropkick Murphys Do or Die album. Like
Oh, yeah, they talk about skinheads
Yeah.
in a couple songs on that, I think.
like Skinhead on the MBTA, but
Yeah.
like Never Alone. You know, they talk about skinheads. They thank skinheads in the liner notes, and that was just completely fucking new to me because I'm like, well, what the fuck is
You're
this?
like, wait a minute.
trying to navigate those waters.
Like that. They say they call you racist, but you're not. But you're a skinhead, huh?
Then you have
And then you start looking into it, and it's like, oh wow, there's a whole lot of non-racist skinheads. Like, oh man, there's a black skinhead in the Templars. What? Yeah, it was a whole educational period.
I will say regarding the level of quality of the Germs, of those like old school like hardcore bands, I have 2 records. One is that Germs record and one is Bad Brains. And I am like 10 times more likely to listen to Bad Brains
Oh yeah, I think
than
that's
Germs. Like I also really don't understand the continued mystique around them. Like, sure, they were in early and they did things that people weren't doing, but like some of those things included getting so fucked up on stage you forgot to sing into the microphone. So I mean, it's new, but it's not that necessarily good.
But
Iggy Pop became a legend with that.
Well, well, yeah.
Iggy Pop survived, and
I mean, you look at where the Germs went. Fucking, they became the Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Yeah, exactly.
They became the Go-Go's.
Yeah.
The fucking Go-Go's.
Yep. And I think a big part of it too is like when you're getting into punk and you're looking into that older stuff and you're hearing the Foo Fighters and the all these bands are talking about how great the Germs are or were, and their references. Wow, I was there. I saw them live. It was fucking incredible, or whatever.
I saw them in 1977.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like I saw them in 88,
years before we
whatever.
were even born.
You know, but there's no document, and there really can't be a document of how your
went
experience
down.
was, because even if you have a video of it, it's just a guy fucked up on stage. You're not there witnessing whatever it is.
We have plenty of recordings of their shows back then.
Yeah, exactly, and it's
by our standards now. No, thank you.
And you don't have the context either. You don't know. You weren't a
there's
kid
no context
there either.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you look at the first wave of punk, you got to realize that it was art. Abstract,
was the
if
intention.
you want,
Yeah.
but it was straight up art.
Well, yeah.
And then, I mean, you know, bands like Black Flag, Circle Jerks, you know, they came along and they took the blueprint that, like, the Germs, the Screamers set and just ran with it. And that became hardcore. And, I mean, there was a really good book. Guy from X wrote it.
Oh,
Not
man.
So Quiet on the What? No.
Yeah. I didn't read it, but I know what you're talking
Under
about.
the Big Black
Yes.
Sun.
Oh.
Yeah. That's been on my
Great title.
That's been on my to-read list for a long time.
Okay.
It wasn't just the guy from X, but John Doe from X, X-Dean, a lot of people from like that early wave of punk wrote essays for it describing what those days were, and it's real interesting. That's one of those things I think is like, if you're, it's a must read for anyone.
Yeah. If you're interested in digging around in the bones of punk rock.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I am.
And if you
I
really
wouldn't necessarily have been a few years ago, but once the pandemic hit, I was like, I think I should try to get into genres of music that I traditionally have not been super into. I started with black metal.
the real wild thing, if you go to the other coast in the New York punk scene and try to reconcile what people were calling punk in the early days, like the Ramones, you get it.
Yes.
Dead Boys, you get it. Patti Smith, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Blondie, Television.
Yeah, like
the
how
New York
does all this work together? Like,
I could actually see Devo more than some of the other ones, but yeah.
But like the book, Please Kill Me.
Yeah, another very excellent.
Yeah, that was my first punk rock book, and that was hard for me to reconcile, because you read about this whatever band and then you go listen to it, you're like, there's more than 3 chords here.
These people know how to play their instruments.
Yeah, this is somebody just wailing, and or like Velvet Underground, early Velvet Underground, White Light, White Heat, White Trash. Like, wait, is that their album, or is that the?
That's Social Distortion.
White Light, White Heat. I think that's just. I
And
think the White Trash is not on the Velvet Underground album.
Yeah.
That album, it's just a wall of sound. And trying to reconcile, like, the Velvet Underground, it took me a long... I really like them, but it took me a long time to get how this even relates.
There was something that... God, I don't remember that guy. I don't remember most people's name from this documentary. I'm also a little high.
I don't remember the guy from...
He was talking... The guy that I
Decline
don't
of
remember his
Sin
name.
because I got high.
Yeah. Good one. Shit. He was talking about, like, hey, like, I have news for everybody. There's no such thing as new wave. It doesn't exist. New wave is what you call the music that you listen to when you don't want to admit that you like punk. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, it is. Wow, it's so 1980 up in here. I'm like, nah, new wave became very much a thing of its own a little later. I hope you were around to see it.
Yeah, I never watched Volume 3. I don't even know.
I've seen it once.
Yeah.
It was such a bummer that I didn't want to watch it again, but I will, because Casey's going to want to watch the last one. She really enjoyed 2 as well. We've seen 2.
2 is fantastic. 2 is great.
Good.
2 is a great movie.
It's a thrill ride.
Yeah.
I saw a while ago that Penelope Spheris still keeps up, with the people living from that documentary.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool because you look at what she became. She was a big Hollywood name for a while, and she's still checking in on,
she's still very well respected.
Who she can find these punk kids.
Yeah.
And that's a capsule of the magic of it, was because it was something so unique and cool and only for the people involved, that I think even as a documentary, I can understand being like, I mean, just think about
you're really getting into people's lives when you do something like that.
Yeah, especially and to find out, wow, that kid is still doing. He's an old man now, and he's still doing that weird screaming thing that he did, and he made a living out of it. That's pretty cool.
Didn't you guys see Circle Jerks within the last few years?
No, they toured.
Would have liked to.
You didn't go. Okay. No. I remembered that they were still touring because they were in Decline 1, and we were sitting there, and I'm like, I think Ken and Josh saw these guys relatively recently, and she's like, they're still touring, and I'm like, oh, they're definitely touring.
They did a reunion tour relatively recently.
Yeah.
For my money, Keith Morris is the best punk rock hardcore vocalist ever.
Wow.
I think he just has... His voice is like so explosive. It just gets everything across so good.
There was... Oh my god. Fuck. I wish I could remember names. I don't even remember the name of this band. I don't even remember which documentary it was in. I don't remember if it was a punk band or if it was a metal band. I don't remember shit. There was a vocalist in one of the bands.
Fuck was that laugh?
I didn't even catch that. There was a vocalist in one of the bands, and I'm like, this guy was obviously like a huge influence on Dave Brockie from Gwar. Like, he was singing a lot like Odorous Urungus. Although Odorous was, like, way exaggerated.
Yeah.
Because that's how they did. But... Oh, that was wild, too. I'm like, I've never heard of this band. I know for a fact Dave Brockie was a huge fan.
That's what's fun about, like, those old punk rock guys. Like, they're like, oh, man, this band that played 6 shows was, like, the most amazing. It's like the Germs, like the most amazing thing that nobody will ever see, but it influenced everything.
Germs weren't allowed to play in almost any venue in Los Angeles.
I mean, that's like they're talked about in that book I brought up, but the Screamers, you know, they were one of the first like LA punk bands. You know, they were part of that first wave, and everybody who became anybody fucking watched the Screamers. But the Screamers never recorded a record. There's some demos that float around, but they were always just like a live band. And eventually they broke up, and I forget how their singer died. I think it's either cancer or he got hit by a car or something, but like he just went off and he kept being an artist. His name was like Tomato DuPont.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, everybody,
It was an
like,
innocent time.
you know, they looked at that band as just this incredible thing, and I mean that's what it came down to with the Germs too. Like, it was just these people expressing themselves in a way that really hadn't been done before.
Yeah, the spark that lights the fuse kind of deal.
And then there was a sequel to Under the Big Black Sun where like people kind of talked about how punk died for them when the bands like Black Flag and Circle Jerks and Bad Religion and all the, you know, like hardcore exploded and all the violence came into the scene, and it stopped being like this fun artistic expression that it was when the Germs and the Screamers and the Go-Go's and all that shit were around.
Yeah.
They say that specifically Jack Grissom from TSOL killed punk rock because he was in a band, I think it was Vicious Circle, that just brought all the violence to shows initially.
Basically a gang.
Yeah.
So for people who weren't around during that initial sort of art punk era, but older than us, punk probably died with Joey Ramone.
I don't know.
No? Not because of Joey Ramone, but when he died.
Like he was the last holdout.
Like he took what was left of punk with him to the afterlife to give to Jesus.
I mean, Johnny Rotten's still running around trying to be as contrarian
Yeah,
as
fuck
possible.
Johnny Rotten.
I was gonna say, yeah, he is.
He loves Donald Trump now.
That's been the fucking, like, I can see it. I can see why you think being pro-Trump is punk rock, but shut the fuck up.
Like, you can do those mental gymnastics too if you try hard enough.
Yeah, like I can see why your dumbass got hooked into believing that, but fuck you. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tired. If we were having this conversation on a day where I didn't sleep like 3 hours, I'd be much more concise.
It's all good. You're tired. I'm a little high. Ken's a little bit rock and roll.
A little bit country. And a little
Ken's
bit
a little bit country and a little rock and roll.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're the Osmonds all in one.
Yeah, I am. I can be.
Oh.
If the country is George Jones,
I don't know if you
can
got
be.
a choice.
If the country is George Jones, I can be an Osmond.
I do not have any games this week, but I do have a joke of the week.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's knock out this joke of the week.
Here, in its natural habitat, on a tiny islet off the coast of Belgium, we observe the majestic and elusive joke of the week.
What do dentists call their x-rays?
I got nothing now.
What does a dentist call their x-rays?
A toothpick.
Ouch.
I was never going to get that.
No.
Funny joke.
Oh.
Thanks for listening.
But you cannot fuck around with...
You're fired, Adam. You're all washed up in this business.